Hello everybody and welcome to Food Journey. Today I've set myself yet another challenge. You know I love those. And I'm going to make palm oil from scratch. An ingredient that we all use in our cooking here in Nigeria and across West Africa. So I'm very excited to start. You can come with me on this wonderful journey, step by step, and see how it's all done. The oil palm, or scientific name, which I'll challenge you to pronounce, grows across West Africa, and its somewhat tedious palm oil extraction technique, a true labor of love, dating back thousands of years to contemporary Nigerian life today. And here are the native palm fruit, which I acquired from a very pleasant expert at the market. These are native, she said, and not fertilized, yielding more quality oil. What's your name, darling?
My name is Mrs. Ondrezi.
Where are you from?
I'm from Delta.
So you know a lot about palm nuts, don't you? That's fantastic. I'm going to be making some palm oil today. I'm very excited to use your palm nuts. They look beautiful. What do you make with your own palm nuts?
I use my palm nuts to make my banga soup.
To make banga?
Yes.
We love that. Okay, here are all the other items I need. Let's see if I can hitch it on my hip and show you. First of all, I've got a couple of spoons to use for stirring and taking out the palm nuts. Of course, I've got a sieve, 2 sieves, one finer than the other. And then you'll need some bowls. I've got an assortment of plastic bowls, you know, just stuff to help you take the water out and whatnot. A couple of these. You can find them in your pantry. And a huge pot. So I'll just take these away for a moment and then we can focus on preparing the palm nuts for boiling. Okay. Now let's talk about these palm nuts. They're beautiful, aren't they? Gorgeous. I love the color. Sort of like a burnt umber, orange. Gorgeous. Now, I've asked a lot of people about how I should prepare these for boiling. There are 2 schools of thought. Wash them and take off these little caps.
Yes, true. If it's also the thicker pulp you need, which is used for our popular banga soup. But if it's only the oil extraction that you're after,
don't do anything because traditionally they should just be put into the pot like this with a little bit of water just covering them and get them boiling. That doesn't seem too hard, does it? But the hard part is today I'm going to attempt to make fire by myself. That should be fun to watch.
But here goes. I'm doing what I've been told and such, but the wind I'm feeling isn't encouraging.
Done that part. It's hot out here today, so you'll have to forgive me for sweating so much. And also, if you're going to do this, make sure you dress down. Don't wear your fancy stuff to come and light fire. So, yes, it's working. Let's start.
The fire triangle. I've heard it called that. Elements needed: oxygen, heat, and fuel. And some re-strategizing. And at last, a result. We have fire.
Yes, Sonia, yes. All right, let's let that really catch. I don't want too much water, just enough to cover the nut. Okay, pounding stick in hand. Let's pound. And as I'm pounding, I'm trying not to go too hard so I don't break the seed and the kernel inside. If you kind of stay in the middle, the kernels kind of fall in or fall out.
This is hard work.
I'm finding strength I never knew I had. And getting closer to the end couldn't be sweeter. And here's a little palm kernel, which yields its own oil. Warm water now, quarter of this pot, and tip in the mulch. Shielded in the scarce shade today, it's about getting in with clean hands and squeezing and squeezing and squeezing continuously into a save. This is the liquid we'll be boiling, and these are the beautiful golden nests of fibre which I'll keep and dry. I hear they're great for tinder, which I can use for another fire. Here's the beautiful transformation now in the pot, from boiling liquid to oil rising to the top.
Now you can see that there's a skin on top there and underneath the beautiful oil. So I'm gently going to start skimming off the pure palm oil, and just look at that. And I know the food that I make with this, it's going to taste so beautiful because I've been part of the process from the very start. Hello and welcome to the kitchen. After we've made that amazing palm oil in the garden, it's time to put it to the test. And we're going to travel to Brazil to do that and make a dish called mukheka. It's really a fish stew. Now, how are we going to use that palm oil, which they call dende oil in Brazil? How are we going to use that? We're not going to use it the way we normally do here in Nigeria, which is to fry off our oil and then build upon that, or to use the palm oil as a base, or the palm fruit pulp as a base. We're going to use this almost as an end dressing on an amazing little dish. You ready to start with me? Let's go. Let's start off with some sharp knives, shall we? Always a good thing. Nothing worse than trying to cut something with a half-sharp knife. Good. Okay, gave that a rinse. So let's get started with these onions. Ah, what a difference that makes. What a difference. See that? So we're giving these a slice and then just a rustic chop, because we don't actually want to see these big slices in the stew. Right, just rough chop these up. One of the things that's really exciting me about making this dish, well, first of all, we're using our own palm oil, but also I'm getting to use a really fantastic clay pot for this one. So this is just a rough rustic chop. That's all I'm doing there. What else do we need? Look at these beautiful peppers I got. A red, a yellow, a green, and this fantastic purple one. So I think I'm going to do 3 different colors today. I will have some red, a bit of green, and a bit of yellow. How about that? Bit of purple, bit of purple. Okay, maybe a little more. And this is interesting because inside it's got this sort of light green color. Very cute, these purple ones, aren't they? Okay, so slide these over and just give these a nice long chop. That's what we're doing here with these. I think they'll look pretty in the stew like this. So not really bothering with chopping those up, but just giving them a long slice. And the yellow one too. Looking very pretty, isn't it? We love that. I think that's enough. Fantastic. Next, the garlic. Just need maybe 2 or so cloves of this. I'm just going to take the end off here and the top, like so. Give this a little bash so the skin comes off nice and easy. See that? That's the way. Little bash and it all comes off. So easy. There we go. And just a little slice. In this case, same for the other. Everything kind of a little bit more rustic and a little bit chunky. Done. That's about it for that part. Now I've been dying to show you my new best thing. It's this lovely clay pot. Look at how it spins around. So cool. I haven't quite figured out why the base is round yet. Maybe it's so you can sort of sit it in some coals. But I'm going to use this today and it's going to be a lovely insulation and sort of retain heat and really cook this stew so beautifully. So we're going to put this on the fire. So I'm putting this here, balancing it. It's actually quite sturdy, believe it or not, and it's going to get hot. So I need to let that heat up. In the meantime, let's have a look at this fish.
My choice today, 2 lovely pieces of red snapper, the tail, and a middle piece. The ease of buying 2 ready-to-use bits is glorious.
Time to add our oil. I'm using plain vegetable oil here. You can hear it just starting to sizzle. That's 3 tablespoons. See it starting to do its little thing there? Love that.
So let's paint a lovely picture. Make some food art here on this terracotta canvas, starting with glowing purple. Some chili, seeds and all. We need some heat. And now the peppers. And it's carnival time. The veg is steaming, and I'm about to add 3/4 of a cup of low sodium vegetable stock. And you can see the tint of the turmeric spice just bathing every other thing in a beautiful yellow ochre.
Time to add this beautiful fish. One piece. In, second piece next to it. Lovely. Look at that. Really beautiful. And you can see that yellow of the turmeric just starting to do its thing there. I think the best thing to do now is to just cover this. Beautiful. And it smells delicious. Right, it's time for us to flip this fish over. Look at that, and the smell. So I'm just gently turning over that fish. You can already see it's quite cooked. And this one. And the beautiful elements around it, let's just bring some of those to the fore so you can see them. Gorgeous. And at this point, everybody, it's time to add the coconut milk element to this. Now just watch what happens as this just transforms everything into a beautiful, thick, coconutty stew. Lovely. I'm not even going to disturb that. Just going to leave it to bubble for a little while.
The final impact is a flavorful one with fresh heated palm oil, adding another artistic and flavorful level to this Eat Me Please Afro-Brazilian fish stew.
Now that's a gorgeous food painting, isn't it?
Back as far as the 17th century, during the slave trade, the African oil palm and its produce came to the Brazilian coastline and has become an important ingredient in popular Afro-Brazilian recipes, such as acarajé. We know it as our own akara.
Now that we've made that beautiful mukheka together, it's a beautiful artistic plate, isn't it? It's time to make an accompaniment. And staying in Brazil with the dendê oil, we are going to make farofa. Now, you're probably wondering, what is that? We're using gari. Here, gari is eaten either as a swallow accompaniment to any of our plethora of beautiful stews and sauces, or we have it with water or milk, some ground nuts. Some people like ice, some people like salt, a little sugar. Who knows, your own take on soakings. At least that's what I grew up calling it. But today we're actually cooking the gari, believe it or not. When I first saw this done, I was quite shocked myself because it's just something I'm not used to, and many people in Nigeria probably are not used to. But what is the spice of life? It's living other cultures as well, isn't it? And not being afraid to try new things. So today, here goes farofa. Some onions chopped. I've sliced them, and now I'm just going to cut them. So what I'm kind of left with is a bit of a dice. following those lines that I showed you before on the onion. See, there we go. And what else do we have? We've got some lovely red pepper and we've got some parsley. Great. Now, some oil, olive oil, in a pan. And butter, a lot of it. Whoa. Add your onions. And your peppers.
Now in with the cassava flour or gari. This is a toasting and light tossing in all this moisture, and in the end it's going to come out like a very crispy couscous. My move is to color up and enrich the crispy cassava right near the end. Everything going bright orange and coming alive.
Okay, looking gorgeous. Time to serve. I must say I'm very intrigued to see how the farofa tastes. There we go. I'm going easy on that one. And going to add some stew to that. I've got a lovely bit of fish here that I'm just going to put actually on top of this farofa. I'm convinced that it's meant to be rehydrated with this lovely, lovely mukheka sauce. Why don't we go for a bit of a pepper as well? Okay, time to try it. Lovely. Okay, I have my lovely mukheka with farofa. And it's time to try it. The part I always love. Let's see how this tastes. Farofa and mukheka, cheers. You know what? This is absolutely delicious. I was a little bit afraid of the gari, but guess what? It sort of reconstitutes in that lovely stew. And I knew that's what was supposed to happen. It certainly did. I'm going for a second taste. It's so yummy. Yum, yum. Let's try the fish. I'm trying the fish and the... Gosh, this is good. Oh. So good. This is a winner. 100%. Lovely. Well, I have to say goodbye, because as you can see, I still have some mukheka eating to do, quite a lot of it. I've had so much fun with you today on Food Journey. What a brilliant result all around. And I hope maybe you're going to be brave enough to try this on your own one day. So from Food Journey, it's goodbye, and I'll see you next time. Food Journey has a new Insta. If you were following us before, come and follow us here now at Food, J-E-R-N-Y.